My bonus daughter that if she cleans and polishes all the kitchen cabinets, she's going to get $50. Okay, Ryan, thank you so much for your hard work in cleaning the kitchen. Here's your pay as promised. However,
Thank you.
I have to tax you.
Okay.
Georgiana, here's $20 for doing nothing.
Thank you.
Do you think that was fair to take money from you after you worked hard and she did nothing?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
No.
Okay, so when you, in a couple of years, when you can go vote, if you're going to vote liberal and blue, they're going to take your money away and give it to people who do nothing. If you vote red, you're going to get to keep most of it. Mm-hmm. Which way are you going to vote?
Red.
All right.
Yeah. Funny how she gives her one little thing and think that's going to make up the whole thought process of how we need to vote. Believe me when I tell you, for my age, I have been through many presidents, okay? Not one of them have stopped the welfare program. Not one. See, this makes me sick when people try to say there's a difference. There is no difference. There's no difference in how both of them run. Here's the only difference if you want to say there's a difference, okay? Like what Trump did. I use that as an example. All people seem to be all happy about that. What Trump did was give a lifetime tax break to the rich. I'm talking about a break like you wouldn't believe. A lifetime tax break, all right? He did the common man's tax break for 8 years. Why? Because he thought he was going to back-to-back term it. That's the only reason why he let it last that long. But people are complaining right now like as if this is a different tax plan. This is still Trump's tax plan we're under. Okay, I'm just going to leave that right there. Okay? Understand this. People kill me. It doesn't matter which president is in there. For my salary, the most I got out of Trump's tax break for me was $60. And if you knew what that was in relation to my check, you would see that that is not at all a big deal. Not at all. He phased out certain things we could deduct when we did our taxes. I'm paying taxes for the first time in the last couple of years. This is not Biden's. This is not Biden's tax plan we're under. It's still Trump's. Okay? People break stuff down. People break stuff down based on time. Okay? Oh, now Biden's in. Like the day Biden took over, taxes turn upside down. You know how long it takes for that type of thing to happen? This is how stupid people are to me. They don't even understand. If you don't like taxes, then neither one of them are your friend. Okay? If you understand taxes, then neither one of them are your friend. Right. But any reasonable man know that as much as we may not like taxes, we like our way of life. I like that when I come to this thing called a stop sign that let other cars go by so that I don't get into an accident. I like when the roads get paved. I like when they get plowed. All that stuff is from democratic socialism. It's something that is necessary. Your taxes are necessary. Now, do I agree that they go to a person that's sitting on their behinds and doing nothing? Absolutely not. I'm black, but as much as white people think who think like that, think that black people want this because we want our people sitting on welfare and we want them to have freebies and blah, blah, blah. I don't want anybody to get that off my dollar. But I'm not going to deny my dollar to this country because I know what this country stands for. It needs our money. Now, what Trump and any other Republican has done has at each time at the end of their term brought us near a recession. That is documented and is history. I don't care what you don't want to believe. Even somebody like Trump, who gave the tax breaks to the rich. Where do you think the money to run this country has been coming from? Like everybody complains about the Ukraine. The Ukraine didn't take dollars. The Ukraine took money in weapons. Weapons we were not going to use because the military will tell you we overproduce weapons. We throw away so many weapons because we keep them so long because we haven't had a war in so long, yet the money don't go down, so they continue to build them. Please, people, be reasonable. We give them $800 and something billion a year. And they call it welfare now. It's just so, it's just got too much money going to it. We don't need the rockets we build, but they're told to keep building them. That's what Ukraine got. Something that if we had it in a cup, it would have spilled over into another cup. That other cup is what we've given Ukraine. Our cup is already full. We have more than enough weapons. This woman is lying to her daughter. Those taxes will go one way or the other. Yeah, the Republicans don't tax, but you know what happens? Your tax has to be raised in some sense if you don't, especially if you're one of the people that don't want the rich taxed. So who do you think is going to make up for the shortfall that the Republicans create by giving the rich this big break that now don't go into the coffers? Do you hear me? Something has to fill the coffers. I always tell that story about if you lived with 4 people in a house and through a year you all paid the same amount of money. But if 2 of those people decide not to pay anymore and you had a surplus of, let's say, about $8,000, and you went through that $8,000, by the time you got through that $8,000, because that $8,000 helped you pay the bills that the other 2 used to help pay. Okay, so now the $8,000 is that surplus that you now have to use. They use it up and then it runs out. What happens then? Those 2 people can no longer carry the household, or it becomes too tight for them to even live. That's what happens when Republicans take the tax base from rich people and then at the same time give us a tax break. It makes the biggest hole in the way we live.